Well, if you weren't aware, there's an election coming up in a couple of months, which means one thing: debates. Now, I love political debates, but probably not for the normal reasons. You see, I love to watch people try to answer questions that they don't want to answer. And some people are better at it than others, but you can always tell that this is the issue that a candidate is running on, because no matter what question is asked, they always try to redirect everything back to that, right? Like the moderator might ask, one second. Governor so-and-so, you said in 1987 that healthcare is the most important thing to fix in America. Do you agree, and why? And the candidate might respond, well, you are correct. Healthcare is very important, and speaking of important, another thing that's really important is the economic trade deficit on the International Space Station. All this is a bit obnoxious to me, to be honest, but the reason that they do it is so you know what they are all about, right? Like, this governorship or this presidency will be laser focused on this issue, and everyone who's listening will know it. Well, honestly, Peter is kind of like this in his first two chapters of this letter that we're studying in our whole story devotional. 1 Peter chapters 1 and 2. It's like he's saying, your only concern is being a follower of Christ. In every situation, in every thought, in every deed, be a follower of Christ. Emulate him. Everything else is just an excuse to get there. Let's check it out. In chapter 1, verses 6 through 7, this is in trials. He says, be truly glad. There is wonderful joy ahead, even though you must endure many trials for a little while. He's like, keep things focused, right? These trials will show that your faith is genuine. Look on the bright side, right? What about in temptation? We're in chapter 1, 13, 14. He says, prepare your minds for action and exercise self-control. Put all your hope in the gracious salvation that will come to you when Jesus Christ is revealed to the world. So you must live as God's obedient children. He's like, even if you're tempted, even if there are things that you want to do, deny yourself of that. Have some self-control so that you can reflect Christ. What about when people treat you unfairly? Chapter 2, 11 and 12. He says, be careful to live properly among your unbelieving neighbors. Then, even if they accuse you of doing wrong, they'll see your honorable behavior, and they will give honor to God when he judges the world. It's like, look, I get that it's uncomfortable being treated unfairly or accused of things you didn't do, but in the end, if you act like Christ, it will help people to find him. In chapter 1, Peter reminds us that we are just temporary residents here, and that we are to keep laser focused on those issues that matter as a citizen of heaven. So the message today is be like an obnoxious politician and redirect everything back to him. In your suffering, in your temptation, in your respect for authority, in your discomfort. Guys, everything is to go back to him in thought, in word, and in deed. We'll see you next time.